Hello and welcome back to Spin Your Jaw. What a weekend. I don't actually think I've ever seen so many title upsets as we did, and come Sunday morning, I was still speechless. It was quite hard to do. It took me a while to process what I'd watched over the weekend, but this is why we love boxing. You already know I'm going to be talking about Kid Galahad, Martinez, Terri Harper, Alycia Baumgardner, River Wilson-Bent, Tyler Denny. I can't leave Shakan Pitters out of this. He's one of the nicest guys in boxing, so he gets a little mention. And I'm also going to be highlighting the new kid on the block, the guy that's got everyone talking, Aloys Jr. And you know what, we might as well start off with Aloys Jr. Now, I was quite vocal about this weekend's boxing over on Twitter if you ever want to join in the conversation as it's happening, you know, little plug there. And I was quite vocal about Aloys Jr. as well. This kid's just got a set of bollocks on him. He took the fight on at 24 hours notice against a 4-0 boxer at 18 years old. How many 18-year-olds do you know that would do that? He was making his debut against a Frank Warren home prospect, and it just... I was stressed. I was really stressed watching. You can't deny that he's got an old school mentality. He'll fight anybody you put in front of him, and I think risks like that should be celebrated within boxing. He sparred with the likes of Lawrence Okolie, Daniel Dubois, and following this fight against Szynski, he's put his name in a lot of people's mouths, which is half the battle in boxing. So I really look forward to him building his career, making the right steps going forward, and seeing where he goes in the years to come. Shakan Pitters picked up the WBC light heavyweight title in Coventry Saturday night against a very tough Reece Cartwright. Now, this win didn't come without a little bit of controversy. Many fans saying the fight was just stopped too early. For me, I personally thought that Cartwright had slowed in pace. Pitters landed a lovely left that looked like it hurt Cartwright, backed him up and landed that big over right hand, putting Cartwright to the canvas. He was back on his feet for the 8th count, but the ref had already waved it off, hence the controversy from both Cartwright and fans. If there's a rematch, which I hope there is, because this is a fight I would happily watch again. It turned into a real scrap, and you can't deny that both fighters left absolutely everything in the ring. We're just going to go for upset after upset. River Wilson-Bent and Tyler Denny for the English middleweight title. For a bit of context, Tyler Denny has previously fought for this title against the likes of Linus Udofia and Reece Cartwright, so he knows he can fight at English level. There was so much needle coming up to this fight, and it was always going to be good, but instead it's left a lot of fans angry, confused, and to be honest, I was baffled. You know, I was sat at home, I was making my notes, and I thought, all right, cool, we're done. Like, well done, Tyler Denny, TKO, little round of applause for you. Due to the nasty, that River Wilson-Bent, if you haven't seen his cut, it's bad. It's a nasty cut. So when the scorecard started being read out, I was like, what's happening? What's going on? The ref thought there'd been a clash of heads, hence the scorecards being read out. Looking closer at the footage, you can see where River's eye splits, and it's a punch. He got hit with a clean right, then a left. Nathan Heaney actually put this up on his Instagram in slow motion, so we can see it a lot clearer.
He's been absolutely robbed of a win there. Look, bang, watch, he hits him there, he hits him, watch this now, hits him, watch the blood pour over his shoulder. He's been robbed. I can't believe that. It was a punch that caused a cut. It was here, this one here. Bang, there's no blood, and then watch the blood over his shoulder. The blood starts pouring over his shoulder. He's been robbed. Absolutely robbed. I personally had Denny up, so hearing a scorecard of 68-65 in favour of Wilson-Bent, I didn't agree with, but then again, I wasn't there, I'm not a judge. Hold my hands up, what do I know? I do completely empathise with Tyler Denny and how he's feeling. You know, he felt like he'd won, with many fans agreeing, and now he's left with a draw, feeling cheated, depleted. That rhymes, interesting. And not trusting of boxing, which is completely understandable.
Separate the boxers and score it 67-67. The official verdict is a draw.
So it's a draw.
It would be a real shame to not see that fight again, and I hope there is a rematch, because it was a really good fight, but I just can't help be gutted for Tyler Denny. It's not the ending that either fighter wanted. Another upset, well, this one though I have absolutely no arguments with. Terri Harper and Alycia Baumgardner, 8 minutes of pure beast mode from Alycia Baumgardner. She came in as the underdog in a very hard first fight back for Terri Harper, and she showed she's world level. She can bang, and I think the only other time I've seen a knockout like it was Povetkin White. You know the one I mean. This was Harper's first fight back in a year and a half after breaking her hand against Katharina Thandes. I haven't really watched too much of the build-up, but however, I know Alycia said a few times that she felt Terri wasn't confident, and I do think that showed on the night. And that's completely understandable. It was a big fight. She was defending the WBC and IBO super featherweight titles. It's a big thing, and for people to expect her to come out big, bold and confident, especially when you have an opponent who is very vocally confident, that can play a massive part in the mental side of it as well. But she will be back. I know she was incredibly disappointed, as you would be, but you can't say women's boxing is boring. Baumgardner wasted no time. She was on it from the first round. She was powerful, quick, and she kept this fast momentum up. Harper just wasn't able to keep up with her. I did think Baumgardner played it tactile in the sense that she hurt Harper in the second. She didn't rush or smother her work, and she's waited for the prime opportunity. You know, she's only flown across the world to fight in somebody else's home. She was always going to give us a show, and that's what she gave us. Round 4, Baumgardner caught Harper with a right hand which left her asleep on her feet. Harper froze and her back was turned, and I'm thinking, oh, this is not good. That's like #1 rule. You never turn your back and you defend yourself at all times. Her hands were down, her back was turned, and Baumgardner prepared to follow up with a left hook. Referee Mark Lyson saved Harper that night. He really did. He saw the damage and the danger that she was in, and he stopped the fight. Now, I'm not 100% sure whether that left hook landed and the blow was cushioned by Mark Lyson, or if it was completely blocked from landing on Harper, but he did an incredible job, and he really deserves all the credit, because that second blow, that could have been so detrimental to Harper. But incredible work from Alycia Baumgardner, and I'm excited to see her go up against Michaela Mayer next year. The division is thriving right now. It really is. I love her power, her confidence. She came to do a job. She got it done in a spectacular fashion, and she's not a name we're going to forget anytime soon. So I'm really looking forward to the next few years for her. And last but not least, the last upset of the night. Kid Galahad versus Kiko Martinez. Ellie Scottney put it a really nice way over on Twitter. Kiko Martinez genuinely has one of the most Cinderella stories you'll hear, and tonight he went to the ball. Martinez won his first world title 13 years ago, but had lost the last 5 of his fights when he's fought over in the UK with, you'll probably remember, some more controversial decisions. There was a lot of talk and even a meme that went round on Twitter that Matchroom had been milking Martinez dry over the past years. He's a cash cow, a cherry-picked opponent that they hoped was going to lose. You name it, it all got said about Martinez. And he's been working incredibly hard over the past 3 years. He said he's had no holidays, no time off, no time with his family, and he's worked so hard to get back at world title level. And you know what, he's in better shape than he was in his 20s. And he deserves all the success, he really does. Through the first 5 rounds, Galahad was landing clean and powerful shots, and they seemed to be hurting Martinez. And looking back at the fight, by round 3, Galahad wasn't looking to go to the scorecards, and there were times I thought Martinez was lucky to make it through the round. Round 5 is where it all changed. Martinez knocked down Galahad in the final few seconds with a powerful right hook. Galahad made the count, but luckily for him, the bell went and he was able to have a little bit more extra recovery time, or I reckon it would have been a wrap in the 5th. Martinez capitalised on this knockdown and delivered 2 brutal right hooks, knocking Galahad out within the first few seconds of round 6. And I just couldn't believe it. This is why we love boxing. Like, how can you not love this sport? Anything can change at any given time. Just a night of upsets. I don't know why, it got me really excited. And you can see how much this meant to Martinez, who is now a 2-weight world champion at 35 years old. And honestly, all I want is for somebody to hold me like Kiko Martinez did Mike Lyson. Is that too much to ask? The biggest win of his career, and not in his home country. He was the underdog. He was written off by so many people in the lead up to this fight, and he just wanted to hug the first person that he saw. It was really wholesome. Oh. Just what a night. It was just incredible. I have no words. I'm still speechless. Even if I was flipping back between DAZN and Channel 5, it was all worth it. It was by far my favourite weekend of boxing in 2021, and I think that's a pretty big statement. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next episode.